the percentages, the statistical percentages. The first one is it is simplification. Simplification 31%, performance increased to 26%, finance enhancement increased to 13%, Fiori mobile support increased the user-friendly activities to 12%. So that the HANA database was built for speed. It is lightning fast compared to other database. So as we have already known that it is an in-memory column-oriented database. RAM will directly, CPU will fetch directly data from the RAM. So the speed is unimaginable, lightning speed. The report says 1350 times faster reporting, 1000 times faster analytics, 200 times faster response time, and 70% savings when buying software also, 15% saving when buying hardware, 20% savings on labor. Okay, so to make reportings, it works in 1350 times. To make analysis 1000 times faster, and for the response time has been increased to 200 times from the ECC version. Also, what are the savings? The clients, customers will save up to 70% on buying the traditional licensing software from the SAP. Okay, then 15% savings when buying hardware. So as I told you earlier, so it requires the minimal hardware components. So that is the reason 15% savings clients will be offered by the SAP. So finally, 20% savings on labor. So it means it requires less number of IT staff. So less number of IT staff is enough to run S4HANA. Now coming to HANA customers. This will be very interesting. So these reports actually done around 1 to 1.5 years ago. So I'm not sure. Okay, these reports are precisely correct. So just for the understanding and have an idea overview, I have mentioned this, right? So only about 10,000 customers. That is, I'm repeating again. This is 1 to 1.5 years ago reports. Only about 10,000 customers from around 4 lakh plus customers who are using SAP across the world are migrated to S4HANA. Okay, I'm repeating. Out of 4 lakh plus customers, only around 10,000 clients or customers are using S4HANA, right? So what about the rest of the companies who are using SAP, who are using ECC versions or any other versions, 5.0, 6.0, right? So they are having an idea that 51% planning to migrate into S4HANA in the next 5 years. 29% are keeping SAP as it is now, and 19% are still undecided. The final 1% planning to migrate to a different ERP vendor. So majority people who are using SAP, they are planning to migrate or upgrading to S4HANA in coming 5 years. So it again tells that it is mandatory to possess S4HANA knowledge also. It is mandatory to adopt S4HANA skills to sustain in SAP, to see future in SAP, right? So 29% are keeping SAP ECC as it is now. So they doesn't want any advancements, any upgrades. They are just keeping ECC as it is now. But SAP will provide the services till 2027 only. So afterwards, SAP won't support any technical services or anything from SAP side. So it is must to upgrade S4HANA. And 19% are still undecided. They have not decided whether to keep ECC or HANA or to migrate. So they are undecided. And the final only 1% planning to migrate to a different ERP vendor. So different ERP vendors What are the different ERP vendors? We have Oracle, DB2, SQL, Microsoft QuickBooks, JD Edwards. So we have many ERP vendors out there in the market. So they are planning to migrate to a different ERP vendor. And now again coming to the important question, we may get from the interviewer, right? That is, are SAP HANA and S4 HANA both the same? The answer is no, they are not same. SAP HANA is a RDBMS, Relational Database Management System. It is HANA is a database only. So S4 HANA stands for SAP Business Suite. It is an SAP fourth generation business suite version which launched in 2015. SAP S4 HANA is a business suite and HANA is a database. Okay, there shouldn't be any confusion. HANA is a database and S4 HANA is a business suite version. HANA is a new type of database. S4 HANA is a suite of enterprise resource planning ERP software run on top of that in-memory database. So it is important to note that SAP's HANA data store, which was first released in 2010, is a fundamentally different architecture to your classic relational database. It runs in memory, meaning data is stored in column instead of rows. So earlier data stored in a row pattern. Now it is storing in column pattern. So that is the reason it requires less number of tables. The tables actually drastically eliminated in S4 HANA. So the main reason is it is column oriented, not row, because rows actually took the extra space. Columns will take the less space. So this is allowing for faster near to real time analytical and compute capabilities. Both of these solutions can be run on SAP's managed private cloud platform in the public cloud with AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud, or a customer's own on-premise data center. So we can go for AWS, Azure, Google Cloud also for the database. So SAP HANA is an in-memory column-oriented relational database management system. Okay, so now HANA. HANA stands for Highly Performed Analytical Appliance. It is RDBMS, Relational Database Management System. So HANA is a database, S4 HANA is the application layer, and Fiori or easy access screen is the presentation layer. Okay, I hope till here people understand. So now I'm moving to the on-premise version and cloud version. So since after launching S4 HANA, SAP offering two variety of services in the form of S4 HANA Cloud and in the form of S4 HANA on-premise. So what are the difference? So these shapes will actually tell some meaning. This is just a cloud network based dependent, and this is a home. So it is a traditional licensing software. Okay. So SAP S4 HANA on-premise edition. So on-premise is nothing but the traditional licensing which we get from the SAP. So it requires the IT staff, place, physical presence, everything is there. Whereas coming to cloud edition, so cloud is controlled by SAP itself. There is no controlled by ourselves. Everything will be controlled by ourselves. So there will be designed concepts for the ERPs. The small industries, so who are actually suitable for cloud edition? The small industries and the startups who actually doesn't have much transaction